everybody, Mikeycat here. So we made it out to historical Fort de Chartres, fort site, whatever you want to call it, down past Prairie du Rocher, Illinois, and we're gonna go check it out. It's only a couple cars in the parking lot besides ours, so we're social distancing definitely, trying to find the unpopular places this time of year. Nice breezy day out here, probably 45 something degrees, so we'll have fun. We're at the historical Fort de Chartres site, or as other people would pronounce it, Fort Chartres! It's Fort de Chartres, it's French. 1753, 1772. My helper giving me cinematography tips. Oh, we can all hear you. What? I'm recording, babe. Oh.
Hi.
Fort de Chartres. Illinois country. So that's a drawing of what it originally looked like. They rebuilt part of it, but they didn't rebuild everything. So they've got a couple buildings in the back they redid. They've got like a wood platform for that one. These ones are like stone foundations and stuff like that are open to the ground. And they got the old powder room and little area back there. I think it was like trading post or whatever, but they got part of the wall on the side and here and whatnot, but all that back stuff's open. And you got the levee up there now for the river. So, but this is historical Fort de Chartres. It was originally a French fort, and eventually it was transferred over to the British as Fort Cavendish. So a couple times a year, usually around June and around beginning of November, they will have historical rendezvous reenactments here. So they'll have people that come here and dress up, volunteers, that look like French soldiers. They'll have people that look like English soldiers. They'll have people that look like trappers and merchants. And they'll have people dressed up like Native Americans. So it's a pretty fun time whenever they have them. Usually have a bunch of tents out here in the front of the fort where you can buy stuff and, you know, little knickknacks and a bunch of festivities once you get inside. And so it's fun. I think sometimes too they'll do dances and stuff the first night. A lot of people will camp out here overnight the first night, and you get to see, you know, like roasted boar heads and stuff. And, yeah, it's kind of neat seeing all that, but they all got to do everything in told a period dress and gear and all that. So here we are going through the entrance gates. I've got a couple placards here, which little dim lighting, can't really read it, but
I mean, at least it's not in French.
True.
That one is.
So it said, Fort de Chartres, see a civil and military government in the Illinois country for half a century, was first completed in 1720. In 1753 to 56, it was rebuilt of stone at a cost of 200,000 livres and became one of the strongest forts in North America and the key to the French defenses in Paris, 1763. France ceded the greater part of her North American possessions to Great Britain. Fort de Chartres, the last post to be surrendered, was occupied by a French garrison until 1765, renamed Fort Cavendish. The fort was a seat of British government in the Illinois country until 1772, when it was abandoned and destroyed. Oh, weren't those British people nice? The state of Illinois purchased the site of Fort de Chartres and made it a state park in 1913. And that placard was dedicated there in 1936.
French.
Yes, and this is the French one. Oui, Montsouris, whatever. I can't speak French for the crap, but yeah, look at it. So I'm sure somebody's out there going to be like, hey, I take offense to that. But anyways, it's all good. You know, you got to celebrate the heritage of everybody that's come through here, and it's fairly rich. But yep, I got all these cool little areas you can tuck away, and
I'm going to be a guard.
and you can go up yonder, and we will in a bit. She's a guard.
Hey, you. Don't they have like really tall hats?
Those are like the
Those are
British,
British.
yeah, like, I don't know.
I think that they still have hats.
They do, but not like that. Not these ones.
Oh. Oh no.
Gate tower closed. Uh-oh. Darn, we're not going up there.
No.
But anyways, it's a really nice little lookout area up there that you can go most of the time. I assume they have it closed right now because of the quarantine. So, as you can see, it's a powder house. There's part of the foundation with a deck. You can see around it a little bit. Back of the fort, you've got a couple more buildings that were rebuilt. They've got a little trading post, medical place there in the back. It's a tiny little place. A little bit of a wall. And then right around here, we've got the stone foundations. Everybody loves walking on these things. So yep, you can see the way these things were built a long time ago. Now, as far as how much of this is original and how much of this is recreation, I don't really know that much, but it is fun and muddy going down here. So if you want to see wine in the cellar, you can come down here and have some wine. Good old time. Fun, fun. Walking on the planks. This is the oldest building in Fort de Chartres. The
What do you
old
think was in there?
powder keg room.
Powder.
Yeah.
Like gunpowder?
Yes, this is where they kept the powder dry.
Is this actual gunpowder?
These are empties.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
Otherwise you'd have one heck of a boom. So, yep.
I don't like this room because there's wasps everywhere.
Not this time of year.
Well, I mean, look up. Look at all the wasp nests.
But yeah, imagine this place. A couple hundred years ago. This is awesome, man. Digging history, dude. Neat little buttresses on the windows that do kind of like a S shape in the wall, so it's not a direct path. But they've got ones inside too that, you know, you allow some airflow, but you don't have all the rain and stuff coming through. And you've got all the neat little openings here, narrow the way in. And the corner tower. This one we can at least go up. Got a wobbly step. Whee! Let's see out there in the countryside, man. This is awesome. That's your microwave box?
Yeah, microwave box.
Because you shut the door.
You shut the door and we go beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, I remember taking you guys here when you were little. And all four of us sat in one of these windows.
I could jump out.
Yeah, you could. It'd be a little hard to get back in though.
Yeah, that'd be difficult.
Long walk around. Well, maybe not that long. This is moles.
Moles?
Yeah, moles. They dig up the grass like that.
That's a lot.
Probably a lot of grub worms out here.
Ooh.
It's organic.
Organic. I've never eaten rabbits. Rabbits are nutritional. They're actually pretty good.
1700s outhouses. So this area here at the reenactments, they'll do dances up here. They will have a old-time human-powered lathe. They'll do some woodwork and stuff, you know, spinning things, carving it and everything. They'll do some of that. And they've got this building here we're walking towards. Sometimes there's a gift shop, sometimes it's first aid. It's had different functions over the years I've come here. And way back there is a brick oven. And they've got a little garden back there. I'll check that out in a little bit. Some really nice stuff out here, man. Yes, this is a church. There's nothing scary at all about churches. They're wonderful places. Pay your reverence. Beautiful old windows. Actually got inspiration from this place when we built our house. Some, like the old divided lights. I thought about stone motif, but it cost a little more at the time. But I did a little stone accents. Ours. Chimney work. This is one of the cool ones here. So I've got a little recreation of a little area there with a chair and a wardrobe.
Look at this. There's like feathers and clothes. It was clothes and jacket.
Oh yes, old-timey. And the staircase. Some more neat. I don't know if accoutrement is the right word or not. And we go upstairs. And this is the cool part. So So this is like where they simulate where all like the flour and wine and other stuff is. They'll usually have a historical actor up here. So this is really neat. You got the cool windows. Kind of reminds me of the windows do of the cabin lodge there at Giant City State Park.
Yeah.
It's got that similar style about it. Sleeping quarters. So this is a huge bed, which they usually have a bunch of straw in here and linen cloth over this, and they would allow a whole bunch of soldiers to sleep in that, and it would actually be comfortable. They have some of the beeswax candles up here. They have those lit, and they'd usually have a little fire and something cooking there near the fire when they do the reenactments. And it's nice and cozy in here, you know. I used to come down here in grade school when I was little. They just had little things for like history or social studies type classes. Yeah, we're kind of walking behind the museum right now. Let's see the rest out here.
Is this where they'd have like the food stuff?
Yep. So yeah, at the rendezvous out back here behind the buildings towards the back, they'd line these areas here up with tables. They'd have some musicians out here playing. And this area out back here close to the levee, they'd have all the food vendors. So it'd be kind of neat.
There'd be a bunch of bees and stuff.
So we got the garden area, and we've got the brick pizza oven. Let's go towards the garden a little bit. So they've got some grapevines, and they've got like sage, and I think they had tarragon and stuff here, if I remember right. They've actually got a group that does different things in Prairie du Rocher with the seeds. They get all the non-hybrid species. Those are some healthy vines, man. Oh, mine are nowhere near that thick. Holy cow. Those?
Yeah.
Good question. That actually looks more like a tree.
Yeah, it does.
I was thinking my grapevines are nowhere near that thick. And I'm looking at the leaves and I'm almost wondering if that's like a horizontal apple tree.
Yeah, that's
I've seen those at the Botanical Garden in St. Louis, where they'll take a tree and they'll force these wire, you know, they'll have the posts and the wires and whatnot, and they'll train the branches when they're young to Y out like that, and those might actually be apple trees. Only way to find out is come out here around August, September time frame. So I think these are the mums. So it's kind of neat. Some raised beds. Give you guys some inspiration out here. What it old French garden would look like. Little water area there. Hey everybody. So this is the wood-fired oven. They actually run this thing sometimes during reenactments. That's pretty respectful size in there, man. Get your wood, and you start it up, and eventually just throw everything towards the back. Get your nice little hybrids going. Steel pipe. It's covered with a nice little pavilion. Wouldn't mind doing something like that in my yard. If I ever get the money. So it's cool though what you see in some of these historical places. You think about, you know, they made bread, those back in the day, you know. Let's go look around some more. So we just took a walk up on top of the little levee banks. Looks like some folks are out hunting today. Out here in the woods. They don't normally get up this far. That's how it looks from the back. This is the part that everybody loves. Walking on the walls. You gotta admit, kids love running on these things. Even adults like walking on these things. It's cool. So yeah, my daughter and I were in the church taking a few pictures. So I said a little prayer for the world and the situation everything's in. And one of the maintenance workers waited outside for us and said he was closing down for the night. So this polite gentleman, yeah, even in these times, still have folks taking care of everything. It's nice out here. It's relaxing. No crowds right now. Right up here where this concrete is, they usually have a cannon that they fire off a round, you know, every hour or half hour or so at the rendezvous. It's always pretty neat. You see some of the older wooden coverings on this side that weren't painted. I actually remember as a kid coming out here when they were doing some of the restoration. So when I was little, there was just a gate and there was like part of one of the walls, and they built up a whole lot of stuff back then, early 80s or so. But it's pretty neat. So this is what happens over time. You get some water damage to the stonework. So some of this has been here a long time. Some of this was added when I was a kid. So I think just by the look of this, some of this might have been here a while. It's got some good stainage to it. It's older woodwork over the window portholes. So, gotta love that turret, man. Whew. Alright everybody, so I hope you had fun exploring around part of Fort de Chartres historical site. Nice little piece of history out here in southern Illinois.
I did a school project once on haunted locations, and I did it on this place because when July 4th falls on a Saturday, I think, 2 people who stay the night at like 12 o'clock. A funeral parade, or like a funeral procession, a ghost funeral procession will take place and walk through, and you can hear the drums, and you can see the French soldiers. But that only happens when July 4th falls on a Saturday or Friday. I don't remember. Ooh, spooky.
Yep. So the story was that somebody was killed, and they did a rush funeral procession in the middle of the night, and somebody's seen it. And so yeah, it's like every few years, whenever it's either a Friday or a Saturday, and it's like there's a cemetery, an old one, a little road somewhere near here, closer to Prairie du Rocher, where they supposedly start to see the procession of people, little drummers going by and whatnot, and there'll be people lined up. Most of the time people don't see it, but the legend's still out there. So, woo! A little bit of spookiness about history, man. I am the cat of constant meow purr. I'll go meow and then I'll go purr.
Where did you put the granola bars?
In the back. Little black Mustang. Ooh. You just ran off the road again. Yes, you did.
Dad, you're driving away the subscribers.
No! Subscribe! Click to subscribe!
Dad.